fact of the matter is he's back. He had a crack at rugby. It's still not over. He's still got things to do in the game. But at the end, he's returning, and we're all, I think, the better for that, including the man that's on the phone right now. Good morning to you, Cameron George, CEO of the Warriors.
Morning, Smithy.
This is wonderful news. I think it surprised a few people. When did you seal the deal, and how did it come about? To be honest, the process, because it's not just happened overnight.
No, certainly not. Look, it's been a long conversation, so to speak. It's just got broader and broader over the last couple of months. But sat down with Roger management sort of in and around before Christmas, after Christmas. Webby and Cappy, got involved as well, and we were very respectful and appreciated Roger's situation and his commitment to rugby, and we just let that unfold and give him his space and just let him know that we're there if he wishes to explore our option, and that just gradually over time took place, and Webby and Cappy outlaid our plans from a footy sense with the club, and I did the commercial side of things, and it just worked in our favour on this occasion. And it's great to have Roger back next year, but he's got a hell of a lot of work to do this year to represent New Zealand where he can in rugby. So wish him all the best for that.
Yeah, absolutely, we do, and that's why I find it quite interesting that it's now with so much business undone, so to speak. So. Why do you think now that the decision was made, and why do you think why was the announcement like now, right in the middle of the work he's about to do?
I think it just demonstrates to you, Smithy, sort of the calibre of person Roger is. Like he's professional. He doesn't, he wouldn't like to live two separate lives. He wants to be honest. He's transparent. He explored the option. He thinks it's his best option for him and his family, and he just wanted to tell his employers that now so they can plan. His teammates, most importantly, so they knew, so they didn't, hear it through sort of other platforms or channels. And then thirdly, it allowed us as a footy club to plan for next year as well with our, salary cap and the recruitment and retention of players. And he's certainly a big draw card. And if we want to have the best team next year, having Roger's name out there as part of our club will help us attract any other player that we wish to go after.
How does that affect the cap, Cameron?
Oh, look, everyone has a cap to play by, and we're very comfortable with where we're at with our deal, and we just move on. We've still got space in our cap to keep exploring options, and Webby and Andrew the Cradden and I continually talk about what we're doing and where we're going, and it's a moving target. But at the end of the day, we're very comfortable with the position we're in as a footy club.
Okay, so obviously you're not going to sit still on this one. You've got other projects in mind under that cap?
Yeah, of course. It's we just want to be the best version of the NRL footy team we can be, and we're doing that by doing two things, Smithy. That's investing significantly in the junior pathway system. That's all coming together really, really well. And look, that'll have a flow-on effect over the next, start probably 2 or 3 years' time. You'll see all these young kids coming to our system into the NRL. But between now and then, there's a bit of a transition period. So we've still got to consider, offshore players if they're the right fit for our footy club. We're very, very strict on our, on our player criteria around the characteristics, what we want, and the type of person we want. That is our sort of first position we've got to take, and then Webby and Cappy really look into the detail of their playing performance and history and so on. So we're still looking, but it's a moving target. But we're also hopeful we can get kids to spring up really quickly through our system.
It's an interesting decision as well from Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Now, as a former supposed player, you look at the environment you're about to go to, or possibly thinking about going to. I don't imagine for 1 second he would have considered going to a Warriors group at the end of last season, which, to be fair, had a lot of question marks over it. He must have been encouraged by, 1, the efforts of Andrew Webster, 2, the performance of the team, surely.
Yeah, 100%. Look, when Roger departed the club, it was for good reason. He wanted to go and explore, and a journey in rugby union. That was an interest of his, and we supported him through that, to be honest. And look, admittedly, I put my hand up. We were at rock bottom then, in the middle of that disaster over in Australia, and I couldn't hold a man that was a family man that had other aspirations to our club at that point, hence why he got the early release. So at the end of the day, he's watched us from afar. He knows getting home how important that is, and the response our players are showing in that environment. And you couple that up with the changes we've made around coaching and recruitment and retention strategy and the reconnection of our pathways and to our fan base, it's a hell of a different situation to where he left. And I think he's really enjoying what he's seeing, but with a long way to go. But he's certainly been inspired by what Webby's doing, along with all the other staff and players.
When he left, and it's appeared very amicable from the outside, you facilitated the move, you helped him transition back across the Tasman, back to rugby as such. Was there ever a firm, like, if you ever think about coming back, could we be the first option? Was there anything of that nature discussed? No,
mate, not really, because look, it's a respect thing. He's a man first and foremost, and a husband and a father, and in those times we couldn't ignore that, and also his interest in coming back early was to allow him to get back into rugby earlier. Otherwise, he would have been stuck in Aussie. So, mate, it was simply a handshake and a hug. And I just said, mate, all the best. Get home, get to your family, be happy, and we'll keep in touch. Because I think it was handled really respectfully from both sides, Rog and the club, I think always left us in a really good stead, if anything was to ever come up again. But that wasn't a promise. That was just the way in which we managed it. And I'm just glad, looking back now, that we did do it that way, because I'm sure at some stage Rog may have remembered how both parties handled it.
Right. Our text machine's gone hot. As you can, this is huge news, and we're massive on the Warriors here, of course, at SENZ. So questions like, Smithy, can you ask Cameron if they still have enough money for a marquee prop, which is what they need? This has come from Mark.
Yeah, Mark, obviously the cap's a cap, but we have been strategically positioning ourselves to be able to achieve some purchases like Roger and others. And, we're still in a good position. Marquee props vary. They're hard to find. But at the end of the day, it's not like we've closed the shop now. We're still in the shop window. And, we'll just wait and see what happens. And there's a lot of water to go on the bridge before the end of the year.
There was a headline last week about the re-signing or the future of Shaun Johnson going forward. That's another one that is frequently coming through our system here, Cameron. Now, what's the situation with Shaun?
Yeah, fair call. Look, Shaun's the happiest he's ever been. And how good is it? And look what he's doing. And we're enjoying just, him and Webby got such a great working relationship. They're transparent, they're open, they're honest. They have their own discussions. They know what they're doing, where they're going with things. And look, let Shaun be Shaun. We don't need to stress him out about any decisions and vice versa. And he's enjoying it and playing well. So while he's doing that, we're supporting him on his journey.
It is, and that is a tough call on the basis of exercising the demons of this particular fixture from last year, Cameron. But obviously the team in much better shape to do just that.
Well, they are, but it is, it's a task that we've failed in, and quite badly, to be frank, over the last few years. And we've got a good squad that's in a good mindset, and they're playing well. But that doesn't gift you anything when you go there on this night. So, the guys have got their plan. They've got to train hard over the next few days and go there with their tails up and give it every chance they've got of winning.
The surgery to Mighty Martin is of interest to the people as well, obviously, and Wade Egan's fitness as well. I know they're personnel and playing type issues, Cameron, but particularly on those two players who people are very, very interested, of course.
Yeah, T had an operation earlier in the week with his ankle, so he's around that 8 to 10 week mark, I think, at this stage. So, all things going equal, it could be about that 10 week mark. And look, Wade, it was more of a cautionary measure with the most recent head knock, the extra week, because we've got a short turnaround from Melbourne in the Sunday's game with the Roosters. So I think it's a smart play, because allows him to come fresh into that game where both teams are coming off a 5-day, 4-day turnaround. So it's pretty important to have some freshness in our legs then.
Lot made, Cameron, and fair enough too, on the culture of the club and the reasons why you play and the reasons of, people's upbringing, etc. When it comes to Anzac Day, do the players have an awareness of the symbolic nature of Anzac Day?
Absolutely, it's a special part of our footy club because we have people connected to our footy club that it's been so special in their lives as well. So, look, we don't promote a lot of stuff we do within it, but we certainly do things this week to acknowledge the occasion and the people involved, and in remembrance. It's very important for our players to take that onto the field with them.
Cameron George, congratulations. It's a massive coup, there's no doubt about it. It certainly got our station really fired up with all the news about it. It's just great reaction all around. So well done on that. Congratulations on leaving the pathway open for a smooth return. It's just been for me, a good business story as much as anything else. Well done, mate. All the best. Let's hope Tuesday goes good, eh?
Thanks, Smithy. Thank you.